Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am Marko Rant. I'm the founder and CEO of a young fintech startup based in Ljubljana in Slovenia called the Invoice Exchange. And what I want to talk to you today is peer-to-peer banking for SMEs. But before I do that, I want to share a bit of a story so that you'll get a feeling for where I'm coming from. So here's my shitload. My dad was a career-long central banker. For over 20 years, he sat on the board of governors of the central bank in Slovenia, for a while also on the ECB. And if you can imagine, when I was a young kid, that really created problems for me because I never really could get what my dad was doing. And I was asking him questions like, Dad, where does money come from? And he was like, well, son, we do open market refinancing operations. So I always had this fascination with banks and money and how banks operate. So I want to take you on a bit of a journey just for a second and, think about the very essence of how banks work anyway. At the very core, banks act as financial intermediaries, intermediating between companies and persons that have excess cash and companies and persons that need financing. But over the last 10 years specifically, that function has become more and more difficult for banks due to a number of factors, specifically the high regulatory response to the crisis in 2008, the legacy systems that banks operate, and it's becoming increasingly difficult for banks to effectively process small funding transactions for SMEs. And I can just tell you a bit of information for my home country in Slovenia. Over the past 10 years, the outstanding amount of loans which banks have made to companies have halved. And on the other side, the amount of deposits that these same companies hold with Slovenian banks has doubled. So clearly, there is a problem. And this is what we are tackling at the Invoice Exchange. So our core idea was, can we make peer-to-peer funding into actual peer-to-peer banking? And what that means is streamlining and automating all the processes from client onboarding, KYC, AML, to matching between investors and credit takers, to real-time gross settlement, to automatic payouts, everything to make the customer experience of using our platform pretty much the same as with a bank on the deposit side, but super fast and efficient for SMEs who are using our service to finance their business. And let me show you how that works in action. So say you're a cash-rich business and you want to place money with us on a deposit. You open your Invoice X account with us online in 3 minutes. You just set your investment preferences, click a few buttons, and then activate your account. And you wire money to your account. Your funds will automatically be placed into trades based on your preferences. There is zero additional work required. And if you're an SME looking to get funding, we currently offer invoice finance as a way of funding. You simply upload or input your invoice details, then click one button to get an immediate quote, the best available bid from our investors, and then just one more click and the money is on its way. Our average time to get money to our customer's bank account is 2 hours, and by the end of this year, we'll get that down to 5 minutes as we're moving to real-time gross settlement. Over the past couple of years, so we've been doing fairly well. We've so far funded about 40 million euros worth of transactions while delivering 6%, 5 to 6% average annual return to our investors. That risk is extremely diversified. These are small funding tickets across a number of clients who are using our service. We are a lean team of 8 full-time team members, 3 non-executive partners. We plan to stay that way for quite a while because at the current setup, we can easily process at least 3 times the volumes that we're currently doing. And in terms of our business model and timeline, so it's fairly simple. We charge fees to both SMEs who we fund through our platform and also to investors who deposit money. Overall, our fees are about 1% of overall funding volume, and we've already reached break-even in our home country of Slovenia. For us, the next step is expanding abroad. We see ourselves as the regional player, so I must unfortunately disappoint everyone. We are not planning to enter the UK, but we are absolutely looking at countries in the Central Eastern European region, currently looking at Croatia, Serbia, Poland. If any of you might be interested in that, we are currently raising a 500,000 euros round. And if I've piqued your interest, if you want to know more, or if you're just curious about how this business operates, I've recently published my first book. I have a few copies with me that I can share with you. It's a compilation of reports that I write to our team, shareholders and advisors. This is unedited, unabridged. If you want it, you get straight insight into how we've operated over the past 2 years and how our thinking has evolved. And just grab me by the arm following this pitch for more information. I thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, Invoice